What's going on, sexy lovers? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to another episode of the Sex Mechanic Podcast, where I, the sex mechanic, talk to you about dating, sex, situationships, relationships, and kind of everything in between that type of subject matter. This is episode number 40. And of course, again, I'm your host, the sex mechanic, aka Jensen Benoit, aka Mr. Born to Explore, aka I did it my way, aka Confident Creator, aka The Exception. And I am here another week to talk to you all about, the type of shit we be talking about. So hopefully you're ready today. Hopefully you got your vice of choice or your method of relaxation of choice ready, whether that be a drink. I got a little bit of cider today again. Hold on, I got to bring it around my mic. Got some cider today. Maybe you got, something rolled up or some incense burning, some candles, some scented candles. I don't know, whatever it is that you like to do to prepare for relaxation. Hopefully, you got that started. And if not, then go ahead and get it started so we could, get into the conversation. But how's everybody doing today? Happy hump day. Let me go ahead and straighten this out. Hopefully, y'all don't need to see read my lips while I'm talking. But yeah, yeah, how's everybody's week so far? How's everybody's weekend going? Or weekend going? I'm tripping. It's weird when your schedule changes the way mine has. You kind of forget the days. You're definitely forgetting dates. Dates are all the way out the question. Don't ever ask me what date it is. I may know 2 out of the 7 days out of the week what the date is, but most of the time it's like I got to go look at my phone or something like that. So that part is kind of weird, but it's okay. I'll take it. It's all good. I can make it work. Um, you also see that the wall in the background is done finally after a couple weeks of just trying to get it done and then also doing other things as well. It is finally finished. I like the color. I actually was worried in the beginning, right? Because I thought that the color was going to be a lot lighter. So I thought it was going to be kind of like almost like a royal blue. It came out to be a darker blue, which is what I was going for. So I'm glad that that ended up being the case. Because any other color would have been not any other color, but if it turned out the way I thought it was going to turn out, I would have been pretty disappointed with the final result. But I like the way it turned out. Looks good to me. But that's it. That's the geometric wall that I was able to put up. Um yeah, so let's get into some stuff, man. Let's talk about some shit, right? Let me take me a sip and get this conversation going. Oh, I don't know if I put my banners last time. I think I did. I'll put one right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on the video if you like it, and share it with other people as well because that's good for obviously for statistics and analytics and all that. All right. Okay. Give me a second. All right. Oh, they switched up the format, kind of like the way they do this now on StreamYard a little bit. So, all right. So today I wanted to bring up a topic, right? Um, tattoos on partners, right? Like, is that something I'm gonna ask y'all, and obviously I'm gonna give my opinion, but is that something that you find attractive? Does that give you a little bit more incentive to go, talk to somebody? Um, does it make somebody seem sexier? Like, what is the vibe that a tattoo or multiple tattoos give you? And then obviously I'll give my opinion as well. Um, and are there any spots in particular where tattoos are maybe a little bit more encouraged or not encouraged, but like, you like to see a little bit more on people? And hopefully we get kind of like a range of answers in this discussion because I'm speaking from, you know, a heterosexual male perspective, and I'm just talking about where I like to see tattoos on the ladies. But I'd love to hear some of the ladies' opinions as well about where they'd like to see tattoos on men. So yeah, tattoos are cool. Like, this is my thing. I like tattoos. I think tattoos are sexy, depending on where they're at. And also, I wouldn't take anything away from somebody who doesn't have a tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are somebody who, for whatever reason decides that tattoos are not for you, or, you just maybe haven't decided on what you want to get or something, and you just, you got like the fresh skin with no ink on it, more power to you as well. Um, for me, it doesn't like either way is not going to sway my decision to move forward with somebody. So let me put that out there right off the top. I don't want anybody thinking that I'm bashing people that don't have tattoos, because if you don't, most I would say, not most. I would say maybe half of the women I've dealt with don't have tattoos. So it's probably like 50-50. Mm, yeah, probably 50-50. If not, it's really close. It's maybe like 55-45%. Percent. I want people thinking that means 50 women haven't and 50 women did. I don't have that many lovers. Nah, that's not the range that I'm in. And I think I talked about that before. I think I said I was at like uh 40 42, give or take. Not give or take. No take. Just give. Give or give 3 or 4. So maybe between 40 and 46 partners, but definitely not 100. Not knocking anybody that has had 100. I mean, because if you did, good for you. You've had great practice, hopefully, to be a very successful and fulfilling lover for whoever you come across. So no knock at all. But tattoos, though, I do like tattoos on women, and there are some spots in particular that stand out in terms of what I like to see. Um, tats on the breast, anywhere on the top part, like not the breast, but more of like the cleavage area where you could see it even when all her clothes are on. That's pretty sexy. Depending on what it is too. That's another thing. Not all tattoos are sexy just because they're tattoos. There are some tattoos that they look bad. Like, either the artist looked like they were drunk when they were doing it, or maybe it was a tattoo that somebody got really at a really young age or whatever. So it didn't really translate. Maybe their vision didn't translate to the actual canvas. Um, and that could be for a number of reasons too, but not all tattoos look good just because they're tattoos. That's not what I'm saying at all. So nice looking tattoos, in the cleavage area. Where else? Ooh, the hip line. So like right, so how we have that crease down here by the hip. What I'm saying? People call it the D'Angelo because of the how does it feel video. Um Below that area is a really sexy spot for a woman to have a tattoo for me. I like the idea that I could only see it if she's wearing, a specific type of like panties or lingerie that are low enough, like cut low enough, or I can only see it when the clothes are all off. So I think that's kind of sexy right there. And it brings me back to a partner that had that as well. And I'm just like, every time I saw it, I was just like, I like that spot. Uh, the ass. So I haven't dealt with a lot of women that have the ass tattoos, but there's one in particular who easily one of my favorite um sexual partners that I've had, in my history. And I also am really fortunate to see how much, like, kind of like the individual she's become since then as well. And that's also very very nice to see. It's very rewarding to see. So, but she had an ass tattoo, and she had a panther, right? Not a panther because they don't really have black panthers. She had a leopard. But I guess people say Black Panther, but just to school y'all a little bit, there is no Black Panther. All right. Um, it's a great character. I love the character on Marvel, but in reality, those are leopards that that just have a different pigmentation than most leopards. So it was that picture, kind of like this and scratching on the ass. And I remember it specifically because her ass was very robust. You know what I'm saying? Like she had um again one of the nicest asses too of anybody I've dealt with as well. So that is a memory that will never, I don't think, go away in terms of that particular tattoo. But yeah, so like the panther scratching at the ass, scratching at a lot of ass, was very nice. A nice view from behind, you know what I'm saying, when I was doing my thing. Um the small of the back is a nice spot, you know what I'm saying? Like the lower back is a nice area. But again, you can't just put anything back there. I know people call that the tramp stamp area. Um, but just because you have something there doesn't mean that it's sexy or looks good. Like if you got some shit that just doesn't need to be there, or maybe it's outdated, because sometimes people put shit on their lower back and it's kind of like the shit doesn't apply anymore. It might have applied when they got the tattoo, but then now the shit don't fit, you know? Maybe it might be somebody's name, or or it might say something. I've seen shit on social media where people put stuff back there and they don't even spell the shit right. Like they'll say something or try to like, put a message on there and just spell it all wrong and shit. So it could go wrong. Um, but that is an area that, um if small enough and kind of like, subtle enough, that can be sexy as well, but not anything crazy, too crazy down there. Uh oh, and the thigh. Anywhere on the thigh, like the upper thigh is nice. Whether that be inner or outer. I've usually seen it on the outer thigh. But anything on the thigh area is a nice area for, a nice sexy spot for a tattoo to be as well. Now, areas that don't really do much for me, like they're just kind of like, oh, okay, that's nice. No offense to anybody. Is like the shoulder. And here's the reason for me. I like to see a nice shoulder area. You know what I'm saying? I like to see a nice clear shoulder or a clavicle. You know what I'm saying? I like to see all this exposed. For whatever reason, I like that area and I like to kind of like look at it and admire it as well. So if there's a tattoo, then chances are I won't be able to see. I won't be able to see it in its full entirety without a little bit of ink. So that's the only reason why. But it's not like I have a problem with it. If somebody got a tattoo there, I'm not gonna be like ill or anything like that. It's just, let me see that shoulder though. You feel me? Let me see what that clavicle looking like. Just let me get a little bit of this. I know people like to see cleavage, but I like to see clavicle. Show me a little bit of that. Show me a little neck. So, um, and all the other spots there, other spots that you've seen tattoos, arms, um, hands. Have I met a woman or have I dealt with a woman with a neck tattoo? I don't believe. Yeah, yeah, I have. I had to think about it. But this woman has most of her body tatted up too. So, you know, it's not like it's just the neck and then a couple other tattoos. Like it's the neck and it's like, you know, a sleeve on an arm or almost a sleeve. Uh she's got a lot on both arms actually, now that I think about it. Yeah. So that don't really, it's not like the neck tattoo of like, what I'm saying, like uh the amount of kills or something that she's gotten. It's not like that. It's just a woman that really likes tattoos and just, I'm assuming, just ran out of spots. So got to use the neck as well. Um, I'm thinking about I'm sorry, y'all. I am silly as hell, man. I'm still thinking about the clavicle thing and the shoulder. I really do think shoulders are sexy on women. Like it's really weird. It's a strange thing about me. Like I appreciate other parts of of a woman's body as well, obviously. The the typical parts that people appreciate, ass, hips, thighs, the breast, a pretty face, sure. But there's something about when a woman shows like, like let's say a woman is wearing a dress, you know what I'm saying, and she's showing the shoulders and the clavicle and all that other stuff, like the traps. It don't have to be like toned or anything. I'm just saying I like to see that part of a woman's body though. That's all. And it's kind of a sexy thing to me. But again, if there's tattoos in the area, I am not gonna turn you down just for that. Like, nah, that's not enough for me to be like, nah, I'm good. But I do like to see the entire shoulder area if I can. But I want to hear from y'all. What are y'all talking about? What are y'all saying in terms of tattoos? I personally I only have two. I'm probably gonna end up with three when it's all said and done. But I feel like if I didn't get the third one already, I probably ain't gonna get it. I'm 37 now, about to be 38 in a few weeks. Not a few weeks, in about a month. Actually, a month from today. Exactly a month from today. So I might be done with tats, but maybe not. You know what I'm saying? If I'm inspired enough and I have a a big enough or important enough message that I want to put on my body, then I'll get another one. But it's been what 12 years since I got the last one. So tats just aren't as big a deal for me as they used to be in terms of uh the the amount of mental space that that takes up. I do not think about tattoos on myself at all. So maybe if I at some point feel like I want to, or if, like I said, I feel inspired enough to, then I'll do it. But if not, that'll probably be the only two that I have. But yeah, I want to hear what y'all say. So SG is our first commenter. Welcome, SG. Uh, SG says definitely make a man more attractive. Prefer spots, arms and chest, or the preferred spots are arms and chest. All right, I'm on the right path then. Thank you for that comment, SG. Mine happened to be on my left chest and my right shoulder or arm. That's what's up. See, good thing I consulted with people before I got them to see where the spots, the most preferred spots. I really didn't, but I just got them where I felt like I would see them. I'd see them easily, and also spots that had like a lot of area, you know. So obviously the chest has probably the most area um, outside of like the abdominal area, and I'm not trying to be Pac. You feel me? So there wasn't gonna be any kind of ab tattoos going on. Um, and the shoulder just made sense. Like I feel like most guys that get tattoos, we have a tattoo. If there's one, it's probably gonna be on the shoulder or maybe the chest, but I feel like the shoulder is like the go-to for most guys. So it was the first one for me as well. So it just made sense. But okay, all right. So we got somebody that says, all right, it definitely makes a guy look more attractive as well. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. But of course, I'm assuming that if a guy doesn't have a tattoo, I mean, it's not a big deal either. Like, right? It's more of like almost more like a preference, like a hairstyle for the most part. Like you might prefer a certain type of hairstyle on a woman or a man, but that doesn't mean that if that person doesn't have that hairstyle that you're not gonna fuck with them or you're not gonna, um, you're not going to approach them or talk to them in any kind of way. So I'm assuming, or I'm asking more than anything. I don't want to assume, but I'm asking that, that's more of a preference as opposed to a requirement. What are some other things that y'all feel like, um, anybody who's in the chat, that y'all feel like um, make a person more sexy? Like, what are some traits? What are some characteristics physically that you look at somebody and you're like, wow, that is really, a turn on, or that really does it for me. And I'm speaking of somebody that you don't know yet, like somebody that you see out and you just happen to, see them and you're looking at them, scanning them, obviously, seeing what they look like physically, and what kind of things stand out to you that make you feel like, uh, this person has extra sex appeal because of it. And I could think of a few for me. Um, when I don't know the person yet, when we haven't had a conversation, it would be like hairstyle. So I say hairstyle because I don't need you to have a specific hairstyle. I want to see if you're wearing a hairstyle that really goes with you. And to be honest, too, I'm attracted by women that have like a more natural look. Even if it's not completely natural, it might be the type of makeup she uses that's like kind of like more natural colors to her skin. But I like the more natural look, which also means too, if I think I've said this before on other podcast episodes, but if a woman has locks of any sort, whether they are faux locks, her actual locks, whatever, oh my God, that look right there. And if she has any gray streaks, if she's got like the storm going, oh, I'm also in there. Like I'm just like, all right, let me take a couple more looks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna make me double take for sure if I see um the streaks in there, or the gray, like the gray patches or whatever in the front. I like that look. And also I like my women mature. So yeah. Those might not actually be like, those might actually be like, her hair, that might be her hair, getting gray, which is fine for me too. Uh, I love it. Uh, I do not shy away from the gray. That's all I'm saying. What other things do I look at that kind of stand out? The way a woman dresses, actually. So I'm not necessarily looking at the way a woman dresses, and I'm looking like, oh shit, she's straight off the runway. That's not what I mean, because that probably wouldn't do much for me. I don't know style like that and fashion like that anyway. So if she was straight off the runway, I would have no idea, or straight off the catwalk, I would have no idea. However, if she's wearing something that just kind of uh, is very like kind of like genuine to her style, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell when somebody's wearing something that fits them, that suits them personality wise, and also just their whole style or sense of fashion. You can also tell when somebody's wearing something that's not really their their particular style. They're just kind of like maybe trying something out, or maybe they just saw something that was expensive and said, "I'm gonna wear this because it's a fashionable choice." But it might not go for it. It might not go with the person. And so when somebody's wearing something that really goes with them and they feel comfortable, they look like they feel comfortable. They look like they're kind of like in their natural element. I like the way that looks as well. I can't say that there's been a lot of situations where I've seen women that kind of like dressed too down for me. But I'm sure it's happened before where, a woman was wearing something that I just was like, yeah, it's okay, but I can't be a better dresser than her. We could be equal, or she's got to be a better dresser, because I'm not like a phenomenal dresser. I'm like, I dress okay. I dress okay. I dress the way I just described. Like I wear things that I feel comfortable in, that match my personality and kind of like match, the way I get down. But if she's not dressing better than me or equal, yeah, that's a problem. If it looks like, she doesn't have any sense of fashion or style, that might be a problem. Meaning like she's not even wearing something that like she doesn't even know kind of like what works for her and what doesn't. That would probably turn me off. But yeah, so sense of like kind of what she has on, if she's got locks of any sort, I'm on it. If she's got gray in any part of that hair, I'm on it as well. I'm at least looking twice, just to see what she's working with. Something about Storm. I don't know if it. I don't even think it's Storm, to be honest, because the cartoons had Storm kind of like an ambiguous looking character. Like they didn't really say that she was black in the cartoons. I'm talking about because I didn't know about the comics too much. I learned later on that she was in Wakanda and all that other stuff, but um I don't know if it was Storm from the cartoon that did that, but something about, the streak or a patch of hair or like kind of like the front of a woman's hair is grayish, or even white, I'm saying white or gray. It's fine either way. Like I said, I like my women more mature typically. Um, so that's not a problem for me. But yeah, that would definitely get my attention and that would definitely make me look twice for sure. How about y'all? What y'all think? What are some things outside of the tattoos that might grab your attention? And honestly, tattoos for me like is more of a thing when once we get more intimate, once we get closer, maybe once we've gone out and been out in person, the tattoos play more of a part for me. Or when we're about to get sexually intimate, obviously the tattoos then play more of a part because of where I told you. Um, I think the locations are sexiest. Um, but before that, I don't think tattoos really, because you can meet somebody and not know they have tattoos until clothes come off because all the tattoos they have are like hidden. So tattoos are definitely not something I would see at the outset and feel like, ooh, like because a lot of I don't know, I feel like a lot of women don't have all their tattoos exposed. They might have one or two that are out for everyone to see, but they'll a lot of times have others that are in other spots where you can't see it unless you are given the opportunity to see those. So yeah. So I don't have to see them right in the beginning. Like that's not a big deal for me. But when I do see them in certain areas, I'm just kind of like, okay. Something else that's kind of related to that I have not seen in person, but when I see it through the clothes, I'm just kind of like, it definitely gets my attention. Are nipple piercings, and not just nipple piercings, but um also like if a girl's like belly button is pierced as well. I know that's something that maybe every like a lot of people don't do still, but some people do, and it still looks good and it still looks sexy. So um if I see that, the nipple piercings through the shirt for sure, I'm just kind of like I'm intrigued, like gets my attention. So SG also says teeth slash smile, cannot deal with a person with bad teeth. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let me think about that. I like you know what? I like that too. A smile. A nice smile definitely gets my attention as well. But I guess that would be once I get a little closer or actually have a conversation with the person. But a nice smile definitely um is really nice to look at for sure. And if we move forward, then I'm like, all right, cool. Um, we good on that part. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have a a nice smile, and I have nice teeth. So, if we have babies or whatever the case may be, the babies will be good. They won't need braces or anything. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be cool. Um, Could I say I couldn't deal with somebody with bad teeth? I can't say that. I'd like to, but I can't say that. No. Now, if we're talking about when we say bad teeth, let's define that too. When you say bad teeth, you mean like teeth that are just kind of like going all in different directions, or um what are we talking? You know, like highly stained teeth? Like what's bad teeth? So for me, the teeth would have to be hmm, yeah, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one right there. Cause everybody, I get it. Like teeth are one of those things that um we're all like kind of like obviously we're all given a different set of teeth. That's not what I was gonna say. But some people have teeth that are uh nicer or not as nice, but that's all in the eye of whoever's looking at it, the eye of the beholder, just as so many other things are. So for me, um, as long as the teeth are decent, what I'm saying? Like I don't need perfect teeth. I don't need the person to have the best teeth. And I'm not saying SG is saying that either. I'm just saying that this is from my perspective that, the teeth could be eyed, eyed or better, and I could deal with that. But I would agree with SG that if the teeth are not up to par, maybe uh, I don't know, braces or something might be the best option. Maybe not, but I can't say that for sure. I would have to see what bad teeth look like for me to make that determination. Basically, that's what it comes down to. Like I would have to see it and then be like, oh, okay, nope. Or, what I'm saying? All right, we could work with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'd have to really see some bad teeth to really feel that way. But thanks for that comment though. That's a good comment. I think that's it though. Like in terms of yeah, the things that stand out. I mean, look, again, I'm not gonna give you the obvious, which is like, oh, the body, the hips, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Like I've already gone through what parts of a woman's body are most attractive to me. But the things that would stand out are the ones I just said, outside of a woman's like figure. Of course, those things can stand out as well, but I want to give some other things that, maybe people don't really think about all the time. All right, so I got another question, right? When do you think is um a suitable time, if any, to post a lover on social media? Do you have like a rule about it? Do you feel like it shouldn't be done until dot 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 whatever until is until we're official, until uh it's been a certain amount of time, until the other person posts you first, like whatever your rule might be? I'm interested in knowing what it might be. And yeah, or is there any time to I don't know, because the whole social media thing is thrown a different wrinkle in relationships and how people interact relationship wise, and kind of how people the meanings that people put towards things. So like if somebody is not posting somebody else, but they've been dealing with each other for a long time, then one person might feel like they're being hidden, or maybe the other person is not ready to take a certain step in a relationship. So social media kind of throws a different aspect of what people think about their relationships and how other people view their relationship as well, and that matters to people. It matters to a lot of people. So I'm interested to know kind of how you all feel about that. For me, um usually honestly it comes down to, it doesn't even come down to if you know being intimate sexually with somebody or not. it comes down to more of like, um, do I really fuck with you? You know? So if you're somebody I really fuck with, then chances are there's a picture of you and I. And I'm talking about, the opposite sex for me. Um, because that's where people can look at it and feel like, make their own assumptions and decide that it might be or might not be something. Right. So if there's a picture out there with me and in a woman who's not family, then chances are you're just somebody I fuck with. Now, does that mean that we haven't had any kind of past sexually? Not necessarily. um, chances are, at least in a few cases, yes, there is some type of history there sexually. But in most cases, it doesn't have to be. It just means that you're somebody that I fuck with for real. Um, I typically, if I'm dealing with somebody on a sexual level, or we're dating or whatever you want to call it, I won't post them unless I feel serious about the person. Like I feel like this can go somewhere. If I feel like I'm not sure, or I know for a fact that it's not, I probably will not post that person during that time. So it's not necessarily a rule. It's more like, let's see if this can even be a friendship afterwards, because at least in the cases with me, I can't speak for everybody, but in my personal cases, it's gone from, all right, we meet each other very early on. It turns into um, kind of like a physical relationship, and then it can transform into like a companionship as well, and a physical relationship. And then when the physical part is done, there's a decision to be made. Like we could either go the direction of, all right, well, that was fun. Let's go our separate ways and do our own thing. It was nice knowing you. Or we can, build a friendship off of this, or we've already started building a friendship during the companionship phase. So when it goes into friendship beyond, the physical, then I definitely have no problem posting that person at all, because I this person has kind of they've kind of they've lasted, in a sense, like they've gone beyond the initial phases of whatever it was, and now we have something that's legit, something that's for real, um even if we're not having any kind of sexual contact with each other. But when me and the person go separate ways, then obviously, you know if there was no pictures with that person, then I feel like that was a good choice, because pictures, again, I'm not talking about just taking pictures and then holding on to the picture for yourself. Obviously, now when people take pictures, it's for showing the rest of the world, or whoever is in your follower circle on whatever social media you use, right? So if we take a picture, then that means that other people are going to see it, and now that opens up the discussion for assumptions, that opens up, questioning from other people and all that other stuff. And so if it's somebody I'm not sure about, or I'm not sure where it's going to go, then chances are we won't take pictures at that point. But that's not necessarily a rule. It's more like it just makes sense to me. Um, Even if I like somebody a lot, because there was a situation where I really liked somebody, and I didn't post or take a lot of pictures with her. And for me, it was more of just not being totally sure of like where it was going to go, even though I liked the person, but I just didn't know where it was going to go. So, um, but I think now I'm a lot more, I don't know, I'm a lot more liberal with taking pictures with people and posting pictures with other people, because I don't really care. Like you go to my IG and see that I have pictures of me and different women, and honestly, you can't tell what kind of relationship I have with these women, and I kind of like it that way. I kind of like that to a degree, because um at the end of the day, at the very root of everything, if I'm taking a picture with somebody, then I fuck with that person, and that person fucks with me. Hopefully that person fucks with me as well. But I definitely fuck with that person. And so that's kind of like the important part of anything in there. All the other shit is irrelevant. What the person is to me and who she is and what kind of relationship we have, that's who cares? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Uh, Being Me Perfectly says, "Hey all, what's going on? Cuz nice to see you." So yeah, that's kind of how that goes. Design Guru says, "Wait, hold up. Chill W cat." I feel like I'm reading that wrong. I feel like I'm reading that so wrong. But welcome, Design Guru. I appreciate you being in here, man. Haven't seen y'all in a minute. Nice to have y'all back. But I was just talking about posting pictures of lovers. When is it a good time? Is it ever a good time? And kind of giving my take um on how I feel about it. Yeah, okay. It was an emoji. I figured that because it looked kind of like it in the beginning and the end of it kind of looked. Yeah. I be slow sometimes. I'll admit it. I be slow. It's a cat popping out of a hat, out of a box. Okay. I said out of a hat. I'm thinking about a magician right now. I don't know why. Okay, I see. Am I seeing it? Oh shit, I might have to take my time on that. I'm really slow right now. But thank you for it though. I appreciate it either way. But yeah, just giving my take on how I've done the whole posting pictures of people. Um and my take has been basically up to this point at least, if I'm not sure about the person or I know for sure like this ain't really gonna go anywhere past the physical, then we probably won't post any pictures of just us two. Like if we're in a group, that's a totally different story. But if it's just us two, most likely not. Um yeah. But now I was saying now I'm a little bit more liberal about that. And basically it's like if I fuck with you, no matter what the relationship is between us, like if we have a strong connection, we have a strong relationship, no matter the level of the relationship, then I am not opposed to, I'm saying, us having a picture together for sure. Design Guru says, but it's never a good time to post a picture of the new boo. You think so? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really see it like that. Like I feel like the time doesn't necessarily matter to me as much as um, what I actually feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even if it's somebody okay, so sometimes you get in situations, right? And you know when it's just something that's just like just physical and that's it, you know? Or you get in something and you just kind of like know what it is, right? When it's something like that, we'll probably never have a picture unless we also transition into the friendship phase. Or something more, you know what I'm saying, or something else romantically. But if it's just that and then that's all it was, then we'll probably never have a picture of just us two. But if there's something there, like I feel like even though it is like something more casual, but I feel like a connection with the person, then I'm not opposed to, having that person in a picture or video, whatever the case may be. So Design Guru always says one should just live bravely and honestly. Multinational Most people aren't major multinational corporation. There are no optics that need to be crafted. Okay. I was talking about earlier how um excuse me, even though you're not necessarily being judged by like by whatever company you work for, whatever the case may be, but you are always being, I guess, depending on who you are, and depending on if you have a public or private social media page, you're opening up to scrutiny and people making assumptions and people asking questions and stuff as well, which for me is not that big a deal. It's whatever. But for other people, maybe who have, let's say, 15,000 followers, that might be a bigger deal, or even more. You know what I'm saying? Like people who might have more eyes on them. Maybe they don't want to have to deal with that. But okay, so being me perfectly says, I don't think there's a perfect time. Like you said, it doesn't matter if others know the relationship you have with the girls on your IG page. I agree. It's my business. It's our business. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that are involved. And for people who I know closely or who know me in real life, like people who have my number and stuff like that, if they wanted to ask me, then I'm an open book. Like that's how I get down. And everybody who knows me knows that I'm not stingy with information about me. I'm an open book. For those people, they can definitely get all the details they want. Um, but for everybody else, don't worry about it. Oh, being me perfectly says others as in those in the IG world. Yeah, agreed, agreed. Because I mean, a lot of times that's not even real life. If you have a social media page, then you are public, which is, as we all know, our curated happy, positive selves. True, true. But some, depending on if you have a brand or a personal page, maybe it's not a curated happy version of you only. Um, and maybe there's also a mixture of real life and some of the things that you go through and some of the things that you deal with, and it's more of an accurate portrayal um of your life for some people. But I think for the majority, social media is being used for sure as more of a way to show the highlights. It's a highlight reel of your life, and in some cases it's not even real highlights. It's highlights that you're taking from maybe other people's lives and using it as your own. So for sure, I'm with you on that whole. I agree. Design guru, that's a good comment. Being me perfectly says, I like that my friends and family know and are friendly with the guy I'm dating. That helps. That definitely helps. That's another thing too, though. Um, Being familiar or having knowledge of a person that somebody that you know or is close to is dating, that changes the dynamic as well. But again, for example, if my cousin's gonna know who I'm dating if it's somebody who I actually like and somebody who I'm serious about. My sister's gonna know. My other cousin's gonna know. My closest friends are gonna know as well because this is like my circle. These are people that are gonna know what's actually going on. People that maybe are not as close to me might be wondering, might be inquiring, but I don't feel as obligated to share that with those people. I can if I want to, but if I don't, I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how I move. But people in my circle, I'm like I said, I'm an open book, and people that know me know that. So if there was ever a question, they would either ask me or I would probably offer the information before they even asked me about it. To be honest with you, it would be more like a confirmation. Like if they saw a picture of somebody, they'll be like, "Oh, is that the girl you were talking about?" They wouldn't say put that on the social media page, but they'll ask me, on the side, "Hey, is that the so and so that you were talking about?" So that's kind of how that goes too. But yeah, like I said, different people I know have some rules about that probably. Um, for me, it's all about how do I how do I vibe with this person basically. If I vibe with them enough, you're gonna see me in some pics with them. You're gonna see us in pics. If you accept the terms, oh, Design Guru says, if you accept the terms and conditions of social media or any other medium, then share, post, and move forward. There's a saying, good hair don't care. And yeah, if you put your business out there, even if you don't plan for it to be private, Um, or if you plan for it to be private and don't plan for it to be exposed to as many people as it can be exposed to, you got to understand that social media is not something that you have proprietary control over. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much the property for the most part of whatever social media platform that you're deciding to use. So you got to keep that in mind too. That if it's a big deal for you to not have that information out, then yeah, of course, don't even post it to begin with. Just keep it on your. I was gonna say just keep it on your phone, but even that's a digital platform that if it leaked, I mean, it could leak. But just keep your pictures to yourself, or just don't take them if you feel like they're not something that you want to share with the rest of the world, because that could at any point in time happen. All it takes is somebody to hack whatever, and pictures that are on your phone and just for you, or just for you and somebody else, can become public. So yeah, you could just keep it simple and not even take the picture if you don't feel comfortable with it. But oh, y'all came in a little bit later, but earlier we were talking about tattoos and if that is an attractive addition. I was gonna say quality, but it's not really a quality. Is that an attractive addition? When you see that, um, is that a preference? Not really. Don't really care. Doesn't make a difference. If you guys have an opinion on that, then definitely put that in the chat, and we will get to it. But to summarize, there's no. I don't have a specific rule on, you know, when to post people that I like or people that I'm involved with on social media. There's no real rule. I've actually posted. I think I've posted with me and somebody that I've met that same night, like the first night I met somebody. So again, vibe, all about the vibe. I think I have. I know we took a picture. I don't know if I posted that though. We did. I did post that. Yep. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I kind of like the mystery too, though. I like people not knowing what the relationship is between me and whoever. So to me, that's kind of fun. Like, I think yeah, that's kind of funny for me. So I think I enjoy that element of people not really being in my business, and not being able to pinpoint who's who or who's what to me. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of enjoyable. Being Me Perfectly says, depend on where the tattoo is. Depends on where the tattoo is. I can't read today or tonight. No face tats. Not at all. Like, how about if the person couldn't grow um a mustache and a goatee, and all they could grow was a beard, and so they had a tattoo of of hair as a mustache and a goatee. Would that be okay? Would that be all right? Design Guru says labels. I only want them on my clothes. I feel you, man. Yeah, labels don't fit for people as well. So Being Me Perfectly says no face tats. Um, I feel like she's pretty serious about that. She said, "Stop it, cuz." I'm just saying, man. Like not everybody's fortunate enough to have a goatee. Like they shit might not connect, and they might have to tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Like this little part right here to connect with the beard. Right? You gonna hold that against them? I'm just saying. Open your mind. You know. So no face tats. All right, fair enough. I was saying that the sexiest spots on a woman, uh, for a woman to have tattoos to me are the cleavage area, um the I forget the name of that area, but I was saying it's called people call it like the D'Angelo crease right below that. and the ass or the thighs. Excuse me. But yeah, that was my take on it. My bad, y'all. I'll think about the face tattoo thing again. You never know what people are going through, man. You know what I'm saying? Like just give people room to do what they do. Design Guru also said, "I would accept a single teardrop on my lady, but only if she earned it." I feel you, man. Don't be out here lying. Don't be putting teardrops if you don't actually have any bodies. You know what I'm saying? Like that's false advertisement. Thank you for that comment. Oh man. So we are winding down to the last, parts of the show. Does anybody have anything they want to add? Anybody have anything they want to ask? Talk about in particular before I get up out of here. This was really fun to do a number 40th episode. 40. Damn. By the time the year anniversary comes up, I'll be on episode number 44, I believe, or 43. So Being Me Perfectly says, how many teardrops are too many at Design Guru? Oh, okay. Y'all having your own conversation. I guess the real question is, you know what I'm saying, like why are the teardrops there? Like were they valid reasons? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you have to do it? Maybe you had to do it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, Being Me Perfectly says 40. Did we take shots? No. Oh, it is 40. No, we ain't take shots. I mean, I got my cider here, but now for 50. So for the year anniversary, that's gonna be damn. I'm gonna have to get shots. I don't actually have shots here, but we're gonna have to have shots available. I'm gonna have to have shots available here, and I might have to holla at somebody to come on that episode. Um, yeah, we didn't take any shots for this one. It's just 40. It's not that big a deal. It's a kind of a big deal, but not yet. For the year and also for episode 50, we're definitely gonna be taking shots. All right, Design Guru says tattoos used to have a lot of conflicts for diehard Christians, but thankfully the pages have turned. True, true. And there's still a lot of people, I guess, that feel like, you shouldn't put like who have kind of like that traditional or old school mentality that feel like, you shouldn't put any kind of like ink on your body or uh I don't know. They kind of look at that as like, kind of uh doing something to your body that you shouldn't do. Maybe because, they look at it as your body is a temple. Um so yeah, I think you have some truth there. Things do tend to be or seem to be turning in a different direction now, to where even if you're religious, you could kind of have more leeway in terms of like what you do and kind of how you are. And Design Guru says to answer that question, no more than 2 teardrops at Being Me Perfectly. All right. So you heard it. Just in case you were, either planning to get some or maybe you don't have any yet, but you should. I don't know. There's your answer. Being Me Perfectly says, I'm not opposed to tats that can be covered. I have one on my clavicle and have been contemplating removing it because I like to show my neckline, but I feel it can sometimes cheapen the look I'm going for. Um, I mean, it's all up to you, obviously. It's your decision. But I think the what the tattoo is more important than where it's at, because if you have a tattoo, I was talking about that earlier too. If you have a tattoo that looks like um your tattoo artist was drunk or high when they were doing it, and it doesn't really translate the vision that you had for the tattoo, then in that case, yeah, maybe I would say then maybe you could. But if it still represents what you wanted to represent and it looks as good as you wanted it to look, I don't agree with that. I mean, I say I don't agree. Like I don't agree that you should cover it up because it cheapens the look you're going for. But I don't know the look you're going for, so you will make that final call, obviously, and decide if that's something you want to do or not. So Design Guru says panther paws on your boobies cheapen the look. See, there's something too about that because that's overdone. I didn't mention that earlier when we were talking about tattoos, but I like tattoos also that are unique to that particular person and their life and their situation, whatever the case may be. Like, and I like a tattoo that has a good story as well. I know somebody who, you know, I'm not gonna say any names, but um, she has a really funny story about one of her tattoos, and I love it. Like I loved hearing the story for the first time, and um, the tattoo itself just it's a great conversation starter, and uh yeah, it brings smiles to people's faces, but something that's very unique is also important too, and not the same thing that everybody else has. So like, for example, like there was a time where at the lower back, like having like wings or something that kind of like looked like wings or some variation of that was kind of like the thing. So like to me, if you and 40 other people in the same city got it, that also takes away from the look of the tattoo, no matter where it's at, no matter how well it was done either, because something that's done over and over and over and over and over again, even if it looks good, you've seen it before. You know what I'm saying? Or you've seen some version or variation of it. So it kind of like, I don't know. That's me personally. Like, I would love to see tattoos that are more unique as opposed to ones that have been done or in some cases overdone. The the panther paws. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about it, and I remember that was something that people were doing. Hmm. You know what? I take that back about the person I was talking about earlier that had the tats on the cleavage. It wasn't this part of the cleavage; it was in the middle. Yeah, it was the rose coming up right in the middle, like in the crease of the breast. Oh man, I love the location of it, and it was unique as well. It was a rose, so that was nice. Design Guru also says not one tattoo over clav. Oh yeah, like not the one over the clavicle at being me perfectly. Oh man, tats are one of those things, man. Like you're in a certain mindset when you get it, and then later on you may or may feel different about them. So keep that at the forefront of your mind for anybody who's thinking of getting tattoos or wanting them or wanting to add more. Make sure that the meaning is something that is timeless for you. So, you don't end up with something like, paw prints, unless, hey, maybe that's that person's spirit animal is a panther paw or is a panther. And, that's something that will live with them or something that they'll live with and want to be connected to and associated with for the rest of their lives. But outside of something like that, just think about it. Really consider what is going onto your body. And also, to remember that later on, if you change your mind, just cover it up because we have the technology now to cover it up. So if you get a tattoo, it's not permanent like it used to be. So put whatever you want on your body. Have fun. Look at it as a canvas. So Bing Me Perfectly says you mentioned a back tat. I'm assuming you mean lower back. Do you find it sexy because you like looking at it while having sex? I was talking about the lower back. I mentioned earlier how I prefer for there not to be tats on, the shoulder or the clavicle. It's funny that you mentioned the clavicle. Um, and I was saying that I like to see a woman's neckline and shoulders and traps and all that. And so if it's clear, that's better for me. But I also said that if she had a tattoo anywhere up here, I'm not gonna be like, oh, like, let's be real. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily look at it during sex, to be honest. Like, I like to know it's there. I mentioned before early on that I like tats where either she has to be wearing something in particular for me to see it or nothing at all for me to see it. So it's kind of like I have to be privileged in a sense enough to be able to see the tattoo. So the lower back might be one of those where depending on what she wears or likes to wear, I may not see it until she's in, her bra and panties. And if that is the case, I just like the way it looks when it's kind of like it was exposed and then now, it comes to the light. It's kind of dope. So I don't know. I like that. Same way I like lingerie, um, to an extent. It's the same way I like boy shorts. That's why I like boy shorts because it shows you just enough. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't show you everything, but it shows you, you know what I'm saying, like the bottom ass. You feel me? Like the lower part of the ass. And that's enough to kind of like, get my imagination going. And I do enjoy, priming the pump of my imagination sexually. So the lower back tattoo does do that. But during sex itself, not really worried about it. Like I don't really look at it. The one that the woman had on her ass, though, I would look at that one during sex for sure. That one is a tattoo I will not forget. And of course, I mentioned too because the ass was so robust and yeah, I remember certain parts of women's bodies and years later. Like I feel like I'd be able to recognize it in a lineup if I had to. So Design Guru says, I love neck and under cleavage tats on young females. I have no view on how well that carries through time. I got you. You like it on a tight body for the most part. uh, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of curious to see how it would carry over. Also mentioned earlier in the episode how like yeah, I already know. I like my women. Uh, I like my women all. I would say my typical ranges since I've been in my 30s have been 25 and up, right? So, 25 and up. And up means like it could be 60, you know what I'm saying? If that comes across, if I come across a sexy ass 60-year-old, hey, we got to see what's popping. Like I am not opposed to it, but I am curious to see how that would carry over, to be honest with you. Especially like a woman that has exactly what you're talking about. Not necessarily the neck, but under cleavage or, what I'm saying, even like stomach or whatever. I'm kind of curious to see how that would carry over. I'm just saying. Beamy Perfectly says, I like the blue wall, by the way. Thank you very much. Yeah, I got it done this past week. So I'm happy with the result as well. Y'all can't really see the quality of the blue because of the camera, but it's a really nice blue though. I like the way it came out too. Thank you. So yeah, I got any more questions or concerns or comments before I get up out of here? Hopefully everybody has had a wonderful week up to this point too. Oh shit, here goes one of my favorite questions. Being Me Perfectly says, is there a butt that's too much to handle? One that you would pass up if you had the opportunity. Use a celeb as an example. It's hard to use celebrities because these days you don't know who has real ass and who doesn't. Um, hmm, hmm, too much. Okay, so first of all, to answer the first question, like I told Earl when we were talking about this, no, I don't think so. In my opinion, there's not too much to handle. It might take a little bit more work because you got to hold the ass up or the cheeks up or whatever. But um, no, I don't think there's too much to handle, to be honest. One that I would pass up off the ass being too big? No. No, 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 no. Now that I really think about it, I'm like, nah. The bigger, the bigger the challenge that I would see it as. You know what I'm saying? Like I see it as I would have to do it if it's like ginormous. I would have to. Considering all of the things fall into place as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? The person has a cool personality and I actually want to have some type of sexual intercourse with them, or not intercourse, but some type of sexual interaction with them, then yes. But yeah, there is no ass that I would turn down just because the ass was too big. No, sorry. I would take on all challengers in that arena, and I would see myself coming out victorious every time because that's the type of competitor I am. But that would be that would be so funny to see an ass that's like that big that I would actually have to think about it. But I would likely go ahead with it though. Only asking that because you mentioned a butt tattoo. Yeah. Yeah. No. No such thing as an ass too big. Hopefully Earl is watching this too. So he could see that my stance on that has not changed. He asked me this, or we had this conversation years ago. I mean, like back in college, we had this conversation. And he was like, "Man, I think there might be a such thing as too much." Me and another homeboy of mine are like, "Nah, mm-mm. I don't know what you're talking about." But that's the beauty of those type of debates. But yeah, I guess that's all I got. Um, we had a really fun and interesting show today. So hopefully you all enjoyed yourself as well. I want to thank everybody who was in the chats or in the chat. I want to thank everybody who is watching live. And I also want to thank everybody who's watching later on, either on YouTube or whatever other platform that you use to listen to podcasts. And hopefully you got something out of this, even if it was just entertainment. Um, you already know I like to have conversations here. It's not all business, you know what I'm saying? Like let's keep it light, keep it fun, and keep the energy and the vibe on on the up and up. So thank y'all again for episode number 40, or for joining me for episode number 40. And I'll see you all next week. Next week, oh, I'm glad I brought that up. Next week, we may or may not have a live episode because I will be in Florida. I should be. I'm flying standby, so we'll see if I get on Wednesday. But the plan is to be in Florida on Wednesday. So, you know, yeah, I'll figure out how I need to record. I might pre-record and then just put an episode out that's pre-recorded. So just be prepared for that. Be on the lookout. And I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.